everybody, Leighton here, and welcome to another writing vlog. My hair is a wavy, kinky, hot mess because I honestly didn't even bother, and that's just the cold, hard truth. Like, look at this shit. I don't even know what it's doing. I slept on wet hair, and that's just what happened, and honestly, I could have flat ironed my hair, but nah. Here, we'll just kind of hide it behind my back, and then we'll just kind of add it to this side, and yeah, we'll pretend like that looks good. So this is our 50th writing vlog, which means I've almost been doing this for a full year. In case you didn't know, there's 52 weeks in a year, so I'm thinking I'm going to do something fun for the 52nd video. So stay tuned for that. But for now, there will be no fun to be had. Today is all serious business, my friends. No, but seriously, today we're going to be discussing where I'm at with the Caspian Chronicles, because, you know, I've been flip-flopping a lot. Basically ever since I started this stupid vlog, you know, I've been like, oh, I love the Caspian Chronicles, oh, I'm having problems with the Caspian Chronicles, oh, I'm queering the Caspian Chronicles, oh, I'm shelving the Caspian Chronicles, just kidding, I'm writing the Caspian Chronicles, okay, but I'm gonna take a break from the Caspian Chronicles. Like, what the fuck am I doing? I don't even know, but we're gonna talk about it today. So first of all, for you newbies, you're probably like, what the fuck is the Caspian Chronicles? So I shall give you a little brief overview of what this mysterious thing I'm talking about is. The Caspian Chronicles is my young adult contemporary fantasy series, which I have been writing since I started doing these vlogs. In fact, I was writing it way before I started doing these vlogs. The wording kind of made it sound like I started it when I started the vlogs. No, like, I've been working on this for like, oh god, it's like 4 years now. Holy shit. But yes, the Caspian Chronicles is the name of my series. And then the first book in the series, the working title of it is The Forbidden Prophecy. So when I first started doing these writing vlogs, I think I was in a pseudo beta reader stage. Like, I don't think I had actually tried to compile my real group of beta readers yet. I think I had had my friends Gabby, Lexi, and Anna read it, and then I'd had my parents read it, and I think that was it. And then I was planning on traditionally publishing it. But then I started watching like Jenna Morassi and Vivian Reeves and Kristen Martin, and they're all self-published authors. So then I started looking into self-publishing, and I was like, oh boy, I really like this. So then I changed my mind, and I decided that I wanted to self-publish my series. But then the more I looked into self-publishing and I really got to know like about the costs and, you know, pros and cons of everything, I started to second guess my decision to self-publish, especially since I was broker than broke, and at that point I had wanted to save up a lot of my money to move out to California. So that kind of took me back to traditional publishing. And so then once I decided I was going to traditionally publish, I think that was when I really got my big group of beta readers together, but I didn't go outside of people I knew. I went on Facebook and I posted that I was looking for beta readers, and so I like compiled a whole bunch of beta readers of like as diverse as I could get from my very limited friends list, because I'm not the kind of person who accepts friend requests from a bunch of random people, you know, it's all people I know, and I grew up in a small white town, and so finding people who were diverse was kind of difficult. Thankfully, I went to school up in Chicago, so I had a few diverse people from there, but overall, it was mostly white and female, but, you know, I tried. But then that didn't really work out, because literally none of my beta readers got past, like, chapter 3. Not because they weren't enjoying it, because there were a few who said they were honestly enjoying it. We all kind of fell off. It was me included, you know. I was having trouble being firm enough to get them to continue and be on a good schedule of replying to me. I think it was partially because I was a little bit insecure about my book, and I was like, oh, I don't want to push people because then they won't want to read my book, they'll get mad at me, and it was just like I didn't know how to be firm enough to keep them going, and then they all just kind of fell off. They were all doing their own things, so it was kind of a mess. It definitely taught me my lesson, you know, don't go to like friends and family for this kind of stuff. You know, you've got to find people who honestly want to be beta readers, who enjoy reading and want to help you make your book better. So then when that kind of failed, I was like, you know what, I don't need them. I can do this myself. So I went through and I fixed a few things, and I really was struggling with feeling like my book wasn't rounding out the way I wanted it to. There was just something missing from my book, I felt. But then, you know, I fixed the climax, I fixed a couple of other things, and I thought, hey, you know, this is as good as I'm gonna get it, so let's just try to send it out to agents, and then agents will help me get it the rest of the way. So then that was when I started querying, and I was really excited about it. If you've seen that video, then you know I was very, very positive about sending out my book to query. But then I started getting rejections and my self-confidence started going down, not because I didn't expect rejections. I knew that I was going to get hundreds of rejections, but there was just something about it that, like, the more rejections I got, the more I was like, oh, maybe it's not good. Maybe I shouldn't be querying it. Maybe I should work on these other ideas, because that's the thing about writing, is all of these other ideas that you have that you haven't actually started working on, they seem like they're going to be perfect. When you write them, they're going to be magnificent. And this thing that you've already written that isn't perfect and never will be perfect, it feels like it pales in comparison to all of these magical golden ideas that you have in your head. So that was kind of when I decided to set the book aside and try to work on other things, because I had these contemporary novels and everything that I just thought were going to be so much better, and I just thought that I had grown past the Caspian Chronicles. I even said that. It was just a couple of weeks ago that I said that, which is astounding since I'm now sitting here feeling very different. But you know, I think that this is an emotional journey that I had to go on and that I was bound to go on, because trying to publish your first book is scary and it does cause a lot of self-doubt, and so, like, it was almost unavoidable. All of this was almost completely unavoidable, especially with the person that I am. Maybe for other people, they wouldn't have fallen into these trappings of feeling like their book wasn't good enough, but I've never been a super self-confident person, so I think it was bound to happen to me. And so this has really been a lesson in believing in myself and my writing and not letting every little setback set me back, you know? Not every little thing should get under my skin the way I've been letting it. But anyway, back to the timeline. So I decided to shelve it, and I told you guys that, and I said that I felt like I had kind of grown past it, and that, you know, anything that I would write now would be so much better than the Caspian Chronicles, so I just owed it to my other ideas to give them a chance. And so I started working on this contemporary novel that's about ice skaters, and I like it, I enjoy it, I'm still enjoying writing it, I'm still writing it, and then I also started outlining this other series that is kind of an urban fantasy series, and I thought, okay, you know, I'll get these written and I'll learn more about writing by writing something else, which did happen, it is happening, it's really great. And I was like, I'll just learn from these, and then maybe someday in the future, years from now, I'll pick Caspian Chronicles back up. And then as I started working on these books, ideas for the Caspian Chronicles just started coming to me, and like all of these things that I didn't even know were wrong with it, that, you know, I always felt like there was something missing, something just a little bit off about the Caspian Chronicles. Suddenly, these ideas just started bombarding me and hitting me in the face that were like, here's a fix for this, here's a fix for that, you didn't even know this was a problem, but here's a fix for it anyway, and it was just kind of a... And so that's what's been happening for the past couple of weeks. As I've been writing this ice skating story and I've been having fun with it, I've been getting about a million ideas for the Caspian Chronicles to fix it, not even just for the first book, but for all 4 books. And it's just, everything's falling into place, and it's strange and it's wonderful and it's so much fun. I don't think I've had this much fun with the Caspian Chronicles since, you know, brainstorming it and writing the first draft, honestly. So I guess I kind of learned something about my process from all of this, which is once I've written a draft, I really need to step back, which is something I've always been horrible at. I am so bad at stepping away from projects because I just want to get right back into them, but I think that's been the problem, and I may or may not have mentioned this in like last week's vlog, I don't remember, but like if I just keep returning to it right away and I'm like, okay, here's something that I know I need to fix, so I start from the beginning, I go to the end and I fix it, but then it makes new problems, so then I have to go to the beginning and fix that, and then that just, it's like a snowball effect that it's just a never-ending cycle. But now that I've stepped away, I come up with an idea, but because I don't dive right in and try to fix that one thing, then I have enough time to come up with those things where I'm like, oh, but then that would make this wrong, so then I have to fix that, and I've just been fixing things in my head without actually trying to get them onto the page. So now I can go in and make this just gigantic revision, and possibly my book will be 2,000 times better, and it's so magical, you guys. And I do feel a little bit of chagrin about the fact that I've had so many ups and downs and swapping feelings about the Caspian Chronicles, how I've been so inconsistent with what I'm going to do with it. But you know, it would have happened whether I was filming my journey or not. And you know, I just like to think, you know, maybe some of you are more structured than I am and you don't have these problems, but maybe some of you are like me and you feel kind of like I do, where you're like, oh, I'm not doing this right because I am having all these misgivings about my books and I'm jumping around and I don't really know what I'm doing, so I'm not a real writer or a real author because I have all of this stuff going on in my head and I can't stick to one project without feeling a certain way about it. But if you see that I'm going through the same thing, maybe you'll realize it's not as strange as it may feel to you when you think you're alone in it. You know, if you realize that other people are going through the same things and they have the same feelings and the same misgivings, maybe it'll make you feel a little less alone and a little more confident in yourself and in your process. So then where does this leave me? Well, right now I still don't feel like I figured out everything about the Caspian Chronicles, so I'm going to keep it on the shelf until I feel like I've really figured out everything I need to know about at least the first book, because there are still some things that I'm trying to work through. So until I feel very confident that I've kind of figured that book out, I'm not going to try to revise it. So that means right now I'm still going to be writing the ice skating story and trying to complete that first draft, and then I'm going to learn from this entire experience and I'm going to step away. I'm going to step away from the ice skating story and I'm going to let all of the problems kind of work themselves out, and then I will revise, and I'll probably go through a couple of revisions like that so that it's not this big, huge revision brainstorming process that I'm having to do for the Caspian Chronicles. You know, I'll do big group revisions, but I won't try to make it a big pile like I'm trying to do with the Caspian Chronicles, because I do want to get Cas Chronicles, I want to get the Forbidden Prophecy back into the query trenches as soon as possible, because I do still want to traditionally publish, and I do still think that the Caspian Chronicles could be a great book. I just need to stop doubting myself. I need to make these fixes, and then I just need to send it out, and I need to really make sure I'm sending it to the right people, because I don't know if all of the agents that I was sending it to were the best, you know. I think I really need to make sure I'm doing my research. So that's that. That's what I've got to do, and I'm feeling better about the whole thing. And again, you know, that chagrin is there, that embarrassment is there in that I've gone through so many ups and downs, but at the end of the day, it's what happened and you can't change it, and who knows what I'll feel next week. If I change my mind again, I won't, I promise. But you know, you never know what's going to happen from week to week, day to day, hour to hour even. You know, you never know what's going to happen. So that's where I'm at with the Caspian Chronicles. I just thought I'd dedicate a full video to catching you up on this just because so much has happened. I know it's probably hard to keep track, especially after it's been like a full year, you know, from start to finish. Maybe it was hard for you to remember what's exactly happened. So there you have it. That's kind of been my full process. And then next week was supposed to be my quarterly goals review, but I don't know if I'm going to be doing those anymore just because they weren't really helping me, especially I just totally failed this past quarter. So, like, absolutely abhorrently failed it. So then I was thinking, well, since the 52nd video is going to fall on the day that I would usually do my bi-monthly book wrap-up, you know, telling you what books I've read in the past 2 months, maybe I would do that. But then I'm like, I don't know if I've really read books in the past 2 months. I've been in such a reading slump and kind of a writing slump. I've been getting some stuff out, but it's been hard. I don't know. I think it's just graduating threw me off my groove, and then I'm spending a lot of time brainstorming stuff with the Caspian Chronicles. So I'm just kind of trying to get my stuff figured out. So I don't really know what next week's video is going to be. I apologize, but I do know that the 52nd video is going to be a fun one. So look forward to that at least, even if next week's video is kind of up in the air and a little bit of a mystery, you know. But I promise very soon I will be back in a groove. I'm working really hard to get myself to that place. It's just, graduating is wild. You know, because I think the panic set in when I graduated and realized I was in the real world. So I did get an interview with the library, and I did that on Tuesday. It went so-so. I'll probably tell you the story about that eventually, but not today. But first we'll just see if I get the job. I should find out like sometime next week if I got the job, so I'll let you know. I really hope I did though. I want to work there so bad, you guys. So like, just pray for me that the people who were interviewed after me or even before me were just more incompetent than I seemed. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get my shit together in these next few months, and I have good feelings about it. I do. I have high hopes that I will soon be a well-rounded individual who has her shit together. But, you know, let's not hold our breath on that one just in case. But anyway, that's all I got for you guys for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe button, and also please make sure to check me out on all of my social medias. I have Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, and Instagram, all linked in the description below. I also have a personal blog, readwritelovefiction.com, and an author website, LeightonJWilliams.com, which are both also linked in the description below. And finally, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time.